Hi guys, so finally time for a new Scrawlr box video, and yeah, I finally got around to editing and uploading it. Yeah, I've been postponing it a bit because I've been, well, debating with myself on whether to upload it or not, because I really don't like the result of what I did this month. But yeah, I ended up deciding, obviously, on uploading it anyways, because yeah, well, it is a challenge, and part of that is that it's supposed to be challenging, and that also means that you can't really always get something that you're happy with out of it, or I can't at least. So I thought I'd just include it anyways. And this really was a challenge to me because the theme was design a coloring page. And I don't really think the way I usually color is not really that suitable for using just as line art. And also, I just really felt uninspired because I kind of needed that theme that we usually get as part of the challenge, like a word, and then have to, that kind of gives me an idea at some point. And I never really felt inspired with this theme. So it took me a while to do the sketch for the line art. But I finally did it, also just to test out the products and give it a go instead of just giving up. So I forced myself to finish it. So at least I can give you a review of the supplies in the December box. And it did come with quite a lot of supplies this time. As you see here in the beginning of the video, it included a beautiful, colorful piece of art or print from a artist called Rebecca Locklear, I think it's pronounced, from the States. So, and it also actually, in line with the theme, included the same piece of art just as line art, so that we could color it in ourselves. And then it included just a little mini coloring book from Spectrum Noir to, I guess, try out the different supplies, because this seems to be the theme. Coloring, yeah, coloring pages, and a lot of Spectrum Noir stuff this month. So it also included a CD-ROM from Spectrum Noir with tips and tutorials on their different supplies, and, well, including the alcohol-based markers that we received, was it last month? No, 2 months ago, in the, what was it then? October Scrawlr box. And I guess it's kind of an extra thing because it's not included on the little piece of paper here stating stuff about the different supplies. Yeah, and then it included 2 pieces of paper as usual. No identity of it whatsoever. One of my 2 pieces was ruined by the closure of the box, I think was what it, yeah, it was ripped, and the other one was actually also a bit wrinkled, but I used it anyway, and it does feel quite cheap, that paper, and I think I should maybe have used some different paper instead, just to get the full effect of the supplies. But it was what came with the box, so I used it as it was. And yeah, so Well, starting from the bottom of the info sheet here, we got this Spectrum Noir Sparkle pen, which is pretty neat, and it gives off these very small sparkles in kind of a closed layer, which gives a very nice effect. I'll show you at the end where I kind of included it on my little goldfish. And I think I'll definitely be using that some more. I don't really know right now on what, but it's definitely neat to have, and it seems to be good quality. And then we got a Sakura Identi pen, which is a dual tip marker pen with a fine nib of 0.4 and a broad nib of 1.0 millimeters, which is pretty neat. I think that we have two pens in one, actually. So you don't have to have a lot of different pens for outlining stuff. I do think it is a bit, well, for my taste, it is a bit thick anyway, and it didn't work that well with the paper, at least, that we got, because I felt that it kind of bled a bit, but the ink itself does seem to be good quality. It's supposed to be permanent, but I did have a little bit of smudging when I used the alcohol-based markers with it, but that may be just because I didn't let it dry enough. I think I let it set for half an hour or so, so maybe with it might also be the paper, so I don't know. But yeah, I think I'll be using it when I need to fill out some larger spaces, maybe with black. And then we had something close to what I usually use, which is some alcohol-based markers, but different from the other Spectrum Noir alcohol markers we got, as I mentioned a few months ago. These are designed apparently especially for coloring in coloring books. So the thing with this is that it has the standard bullet nib in one end and then a very fine bullet nib at the other end instead of the chisel nib that you typically see with alcohol-based markers and with their other with the other Spectrum Noir markers. So I think that's pretty neat. So if you're a coloring book enthusiast, this is quite a good marker for you, I would say. I got yellow and orange, which is kind of like my two least favorite colors, especially orange. Don't know why, but at least they go together, so I could try and blend some, which was a bit of a challenge on the paper that we got, but it was doable. So I think that if I used it on the Bristol board paper that I usually use with my markers, it's probably it will probably blend quite well as well. So, and also I think probably the coloring books come in quite different qualities of paper, so it's nice to know that it works on some cheapy feeling paper, and the color is quite vibrant, I have to say. One thing, I do like the barrel of it as well. One thing I don't really like about it is the cap. It's really weird, and it seems like it's designed to make it even harder for you to get it on. So yeah, I'm sitting right now trying actually to get the cap off just using one hand because I'm holding my phone in my other hand, but I really can't do that. Yeah, okay, I'm giving up. It's really on there. So, but that's one thing. Usually I have both hands free when I color, but it kind of has these, yeah, what do you call it? It's not kind of completely smooth on the cap. It has these kind of indents into it, is the only word I can come up with to call it. You can see it in the beginning. And they have to fit exactly together before the cap goes on, which it never does when you just put it on. So you have to kind of skewer it a bit to one side or the other to get it to fit, which is really annoying, and I don't know why they've designed it like that. But that's my main con with this marker. And also with the yellow one, it doesn't really match. The true color doesn't really match the cap, but that's an issue also with their other alcohol-based markers. But you can easily go about that by doing some swatches. So yeah, I think they would work very well for coloring and coloring books. Then there's the last thing that they included, which is a set of 8. I don't think they seem that high quality. Well, to be fair, they do have, at least the colors I tested, have very nice, clear, beautiful colors. But as you can tell by my result, I felt that it was really difficult to spread the color out evenly. Again, it may also very well have something to do with the type of paper used, which I didn't feel was optimal for use with color pencils. But for coloring in a coloring book where you typically have a lot of smaller areas, I think they would be great. So, and yeah, and I think that was it for this time. So I hope that despite the awful result here at the end, that you enjoyed this video. And I'm looking forward to the next Scrawlr box, which should come very soon now, as I'm so late in posting this one. So yeah, please give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So bye!